The following coverage of the 2024 Premium Cigar Association Trade Show was produced by Tobacco Talk Media. What's going on, everybody? Cigar Show Tim here with Tobacco Talk Media, PCA 2024. If you've watched me for the last couple years, you know that my first interview the last couple years has been John Huber. I can't break that pattern.
I like the tradition.
There we go.
Good to see you, Tim.
Good to see you, too.
Man. Yeah, man.
So, you've got a lot of stuff going on with this show, new releases. No surprise, you did last year as well. So, talk about what we're both smoking right now.
So, you and I are both smoking the Coroneta Habano. So, Coroneta is a brand that we are releasing in two different expressions, a Maduro and a Habano, from two different factories, Casa Carrillo and Naxa.
Right.
Two different countries, Dominican Republic and Nicaragua. So the fun story is, like, behind the scenes, like the logistics of pulling that off in a window from July to March, because we were in here July, now we're in March,
that's a tight window.
It was difficult. I mean, I could tell you stories that would bore you to tears, but I mean, it's crazy. It was crazy. I don't know why I decided to do that, but we did.
Got it. So, two different factories, you know, two different sets of teams to work with on that.
Right.
Is that something you want to do again, or is it like one time I did it, never again?
Check that box. Been there, done that. I just don't. It was hard, man. The way it started off, actually, is Coroneta Habano, what we're smoking. Everything, the dishes were done on that in the spring of 22.
Okay.
Right. And then we decided to put that on the back burner and focus on La Vereda for last year. And we wanted that to be the highlight of our year. We did that. So when I found out that the trade show this year was in March, I'm like, we're golden. I'm like, I've got the blend, I've got the Vitolas, I've got the packaging, good. And then my business partner, Mike Condor, said, hey, you know, let's do something with Ernie too, Casa Carrillo. What can we do that won't cannibalize from Coroneta? And I was like, all right, let me think about it. And then I was like, oh, okay. We'll do a Maduro version.
Sure.
And so I started.
Which is his wheelhouse.
That's his wheelhouse, and they did a great job on the Maduro. San Andreas wrapper is beautiful. But then the clock started ticking. Like, okay, now I went from being ahead of the game to like now I'm really under the gun.
Yeah.
So I had like 500,000 bands already at Naxa for that. So I'm like, okay, can you send half of those to the, and how to get everybody kind of on the same page. You know, both factories. I had the boxes coming out of the DR with Tony Gomez. I had to say, okay, dude, can you send those to Nika? He's like, well, we've never done that yet. And I'm like, well, we're going to figure this out. So it was fun.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you touched on La Vereda. How has the response to that been?
I think the response has been great. I mean, the Cigar Cognoscetti or whatever, the blogs, the guys like you that really gave us some excellent feedback, really good. I mean, I love this cigar. I smoke it daily. Every morning, that's pretty much what I start with, either the 50 or the 54.
Okay.
We have really kind of controlled the growth of it intentionally. Like last year, we came into the show, we're like, look, we don't want to sell it to every, we want to focus.
Be selective.
Correct. And our goal was 100 stores to open, and we walked out of here with a little over 100.
Okay.
And since the show, we've only added maybe another 35 to 40.
Okay.
So it's still small, but we're really trying to focus. And my goal for Vereda this year is to kind of create more of a point of sales place and space for it, so that it can be sold outside of the humidor. Because I mean, you put it on a shelf. I've noticed when it's on a shelf, it's like, why is that special? Why is that next to Juarez? Why is that next to Mil Diaz?
Yeah, especially if they're looking at price points going from an $8 cigar to a $20 cigar.
Correct. So I'm like, when I get back, I'm gonna start working on some point of sale so that it can be like in a standalone space in a tobacconist.
Nice.
So yeah, that's on the horizon for sure.
Well, speaking of La Vereda, I wanted to do something for you guys. For the brand. So, you know that it was my number 2 cigar of the year.
I couldn't forget. I jumped all over that. Oh man!
So I would love to present you and Crown Heads.
How cool is this?
With this display plaque for you, and I will hand it to you.
Thank you so much.
Number 2 cigar of the year, La Vereda, and then here's a little stand that goes with it.
Tim, that's really kind of you, man. That's so cool. I love
Absolutely.
That means a lot. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
We have a little stand for it too. We're going to display this right there.
I think it just screws into the back.
Does it?
Try and not get fingerprints all over it.
Nice.
Does it? It
That's
does.
Beautiful.
So now you can display this for the entire rest of the show, which is also another
And we
reason
will.
for
Now
me
the
to
price
come.
just went up. Now
There
it's
you
now
go.
25 to 30. Beautiful. See that? Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
That's cool. Very nice. Yeah,
So-
go ahead.
Well, I remember when I posted, announcing number 1, number 2, number 3, and all that. And I remember you're like, "That's cool," but you saw the little. It was just a graphic mock-up, and I was like, "I can't not get him one anyways."
That's really cool.
So with it being, talking with some of the content creators, reviewers, bloggers, whatever you want to call us, there were some that, obviously because of the price point, were like, "How can I justify a $20 cigar?" And I would ask a couple of them, "Well, do you know why it's at that price point?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, they had to slow down production." I was like, "That's not what they like." The pullback on it, the intentionality behind it, the aging time, like all those different things. And a couple people, once I gave them the full backstory, they were like, "Oh, that makes sense." And I said, "Look, you don't have that kind of delay, slow down in process and all that with a Davidoff, but you'll go pay $25 for one of those, no problem."
Right.
So, what's the, why balk at this? Is it because you're used to the Juarez, or you're used to, something else that they have that's on the, budget friendly side?
Right.
And, oh, no, I just didn't think that, it was justified. But then I asked them if they liked it. "Oh yeah, I loved it." Then what are you complaining for?
Yeah, I appreciate that. And when we came out with it, it was like, I saw a lot of articles like, they led with, "It's Crown Head's most expensive cigar today." And it was like, that's not the point. The point is like, the wrapper is aged 4 to 5 years. The fillers are aged 3+ years.
Yeah.
It's an investment in time. It's an investment in tobaccos. It's an investment.
Well, and how you had to slow down with the number of pairs that are rolling in, 60%, production speed.
And you know what? I mean, I'm not just tooting our own horn, but this is more.
Go for it.
This is more a compliment to Casa Carrillo and the manufacturing. I literally have smoked so many Lavarettas because I have access to them.
Oh, of course.
I've never had one that had any kind of a draw issue or construction issue. They were as consistent as any cigar we've ever done. Flawless. And I was just like, the flavor profile was the same from cigar to cigar. I was like, this is what an ultra premium cigar should be. And to me, now you say ultra premium, and it's like, what? There's cigars that are $100 and $80, and I mean, I think we're 18 to 22 with LV, and to me, that's not an exorbitant price in the market right now.
No, not at all.
So I wish people would kind of say, not lead with the most expensive Crown Head cigar, But I appreciate you taking the time to educate other people. That means a lot to it.
Yeah, well, and that's one of the things that I enjoy is, getting to know other reviewers, content creators, and all that. Is we chat on the side, back and forth. "Oh, did you like this one?" Or I was here a week and a half ago for work, met up with a couple other reviewers and was talking with them. Oh, and one of them, a guy named Michael Brisdale, he actually lives here in Vegas with Master Rashes' channel. Mm-hmm. He loves Lavaretta, and so we got talking together about it and hanging out with another guy that we were just smoking cigars, relaxing, kicking back with. And so it was, it's cool to see that there are opportunities even off camera for us, or away from the keyboard, where we get to talk and just hang out, and we don't have to do the persona if some people have that. For me, I'm the same on camera as I am off camera, but it's just one of those things where it's fun to get to hang out and talk, and just, "Hey, I tried this. Oh, I didn't like that. No, I like this size better than that size." So
it's still the common denominator. I
Absolutely.
always say cigars bring people together. It's it's a conversational piece, a bonding piece, what have you. So it's cool that segment of the industry, what all you guys do, really kind of brings you guys together.
Yep.
I think that's really neat. I really do. I remember it wasn't that more than 5 years ago. It was like, there was a pushback on cigar media being on the floor. I'm like, no, that's a good thing. It's like, embrace it, because these are the guys that are promoting what we do. It's like, otherwise, nobody's going to know that we have a new release.
Well, and you have, you've got the big guys, Cigar Aficionado and Half Wheel and, Coop and, Jimmy and all those different guys. They can only get to so many people during a trade show like this. Right. So to have your story told, or anybody's story told effectively, you have to have more people here to do it.
Yeah. I like to tell it to anybody that'll listen.
There you
go. I appreciate the time, actually. It's always fun to share the story behind the blends and the brands and all that stuff. And I'm grateful for that.
Very much so. So, OFC dropped a new one that was at the opening night party last night. You want to touch on that one for a minute?
Yeah. I mean, this is Tim's third release. He had Bosphorus, Aramas, and this is called Fursat. It's also made of Casa Carrillo.
Okay.
It's a soft pressed cigar. Everybody kind of like, well, I told Tim, don't even tell people it's a Connecticut. You know, because I think for some reason people have this idea in their head that a Connecticut cigar is boring and mild.
Right.
This cigar, when I smoked it at our sales meeting about a month ago, we got some pre-release samples, and I'm like, this is too good to just label it a Connecticut. Let people smoke it, and then everything else it's secondary to that. It's a really good medium-bodied cigar. It has a lot of flavor and depth. I hate to use the cliche like it's not your grandfather's Connecticut, because that's been done to death.
Yeah.
But it's not a pepper bomb either. It's somewhere in the middle. It's interesting. It's good. It's fantastic.
It's a good meaty Connecticut.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
very cool.
Definitely. But it's third release, and I think he was going to do a pie limited, but we held off because of the red that he did in July. Hasn't even been out a year yet, so he's going to probably pigeonhole that for like later in the year.
Perfect. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's fun.
So I want to circle back to last year for just a little bit when Ferdinand and that whole pack and all that got released. I've seen you guys talking about it quite a bit. Have you gotten much response from that new Vitola or from those packs?
No.
Okay.
I'll be completely honest with you. I thought, man, this is such a value proposition.
Yeah.
5 cigars for $29.95. I'm feeling like a QVC guy or whatever. But for $29.95
screen for 5 minutes
if
only.
You act now, you will also get a bottle of Dasani water. And it didn't. You know, I thought we're going to be oversold on this stuff. And it just never got traction to this point. Yeah. Same with having the sample exclusive size and the little Ferdinand, which I don't know. I'm still waiting for it. You know, I'm still waiting for the something to click, and then it goes, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've even done posts on IG and Reels and saying, look, hello, this is like 5 of the best cigars you'll get for $30.
Yeah.
You know, so for everybody that complains that LV is the most expensive cigar, we've got something else.
Absolutely.
Right? We got Juarez, which is a great. I mean, that cigar to me, when you smoke it, I mean, I think it competes with cigars in the 8 to 12 category. I think it definitely punches above its weight. It's a great cigar. And that's made at the Radios factory.
Okay.
Tacanitza.
So one last one that I want to touch on, and I saved it for the end intentionally. The Mil Diaz Maduro.
Yes.
That cigar is insane.
Thank you very much. Another Radio. Yeah, we just did that, a month ago, I think. I want to say we released it a month ago. And something we'd started on late last year.
Okay.
And so we kind of were like conservative, like it's the first quarter, like is anybody going to really be buying? PCA is right around the corner. That went through the roof. And so we immediately oversold the first shipment. We're on back order for it now, but we're getting a second shipment in second week of April.
Okay.
So, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. I think
that and the Topaz format was just delicious.
It's a very, very good blend. It's not. What I liked about the blend was it wasn't like a pepper bomb. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
It was just like chocolatey, rich, easy to smoke, but interesting, complex.
Had depth to it.
It reminded me of like the old school, like Ashton aged Maduros back in like back in the day. Like those Maduros back then when I first got into cigars weren't like really strong. They were just kind of rich, chocolatey. And that's kind of where I wanted that to land. I didn't want it to be like a pepper bomb or like heavy or anything. So like a lot of the modern Maduros seem to be in that lane. So I wanted something a little bit more like the old school kind of Maduros.
Very cool. And it's absolutely delicious. And it is a dessert cigar.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one where you can sit back on a patio after a good meal and just relax and enjoy it.
Yeah, not break out in a sweat.
No.
Or have the spins or anything like that.
Yeah, stand up and get dizzy.
Yeah, no, it's a very good blend. I was very excited for it.
Very cool. Well, John, I appreciate what you do.
Tim, thank you.
Taking the time.
Thank you for supporting. Thank you for making this the first stop. Thank you for the award.
Absolutely.
And thank you for your time, most importantly. I appreciate it.
Sounds good, brother.
Thanks, man.
We'll talk soon.
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody. From PCA 2024, Cigar Show Tim with Tobacco Talk Media, and John Huber, I got more content coming your way.